जय हिंद बच्चों। आज हम क्लास 10th का 6th चैप्टर जिसका नाम है लाइफ प्रोसेसेस पढ़ने वाले हैं। बच्चों, लाइफ को मेंटेन करने के लिए लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म में बहुत सारे प्रोसेसेस साइमल्टेनियसली लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म की बॉडी में चलते रहते हैं और ये सारे के सारे प्रोसेस इंपॉर्टेंट हैं टू मेंटेन लाइफ इन एन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म। तो आज हम इन सारे लाइफ प्रोसेसेस के बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं। ये जो चैप्टर है मेनली 4 इम्पॉर्टेंट लाइफ प्रोसेसेस को कवर करेगा। फर्स्ट है न्यूट्रिशन, सेकंड इज़ रेस्पिरेशन, थर्ड इज़ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड फोर्थ इज़ एक्सक्रीशन। So we will study one by one in this chapter. Before going to these life processes, first we will understand about the characteristics of a living organism. How we can say or what are the criteria to decide whether a living organism is alive. So here we can discuss about the characteristics of a living organisms. Yes, living organisms are living organisms because they show certain characteristics, and one of them, which is very important, is movement. Yes, all the living things move without the help of any external help. Yes, some movements are easily visible like movement of body parts, and some movements are not easily visible like molecular movements, as molecules and atoms are very minute in size, so their movements are not easily visible. The molecular movements in cells and tissues is necessary for all the life processes. So students, other various characteristics of living organisms are, one of them is nutrition. Yes, we will study here nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body of life processes. For the life processes, nutrition is nothing but taking of food, but not just taking of food, but also its utilization in our body is said to be nutrition. Next one is respiration. Respiration is the process by which food is burnt, or we can say oxidized, in the cells of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. So respiration is the process through which our food is oxidized to release energy. Next is transportation. Transportation is very important process. It is a process by which food, oxygen, water, waste products are carried from one part of the body to the other. And last but not least is the excretion. Excretion is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. Yes, students, these all processes are quite important and they are very essential for the maintaining of life of a living organism. So we will study one by one. First one is nutrition, which we will study in detail. Nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the food for growth, to repair the damaged parts of the body and energy. बच्चों, हम खाना तो खाते हैं, खाना खाना ही सिर्फ न्यूट्रिशन नहीं है, बल्कि वो खाना हमारी बॉडी में जाकर डाइजेस्ट होता है, ब्रेक डाउन होता है उसका, then it is utilized by our body and absorbed by our body. This whole process is known as nutrition, and this food is used by our body for various functions like for building the body, for growth, repair of the damaged parts of the body, and for giving us energy for various activities. So life on earth depends on nutrition, and this nutrition depends on various molecules which are based on carbon, and most of the food are also carbon based molecules. For example, our organic compounds, they are mostly made up of carbon. So carbon is very important. Carbon is quite important and act as a raw material for the food molecules. Other raw materials used by living organisms are food, water and air. Here are some modes of nutrition. Modes are the means through which various organisms take their food. There are two modes of nutrition. First one is autotrophic. Auto means self. That means these type of organism or the organisms which prepare their own food, they are known as autotrophs, and this type of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. Other is heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means which is taken from others. Heterotrophic nutrition is in which organisms get their food directly or indirectly from plants. So all the plants are autotrophs. They have autotrophic mode of nutrition, and all the animals including fungi and some bacteria and even human beings, we all have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Further, heterotrophic nutrition is categorized into three different types of nutrition. First one is saprophytic nutrition. In saprophytic nutrition, what happens? The organism get their food from dead and decaying organism. They break down the food material outside their body and then absorb it. For example, mushroom, bread, mold, yeast, some bacteria, etc. So in this nutrition, organism, they feed on dead and decaying organism. So they are basically important for cleaning our environment. Second one is parasitic nutrition. It is the nutrition in which organisms get their food from living organisms without killing them, and the organism from which they take food is known as host, and the organism which take food from the other living organisms are known as parasites. For example, Cuscuta, that is amarbel, orchids, ticks, lice, leeches, and even mosquito is also a parasite on human beings. Holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition is a nutrition in which organisms take food directly and then digest and absorb it. बच्चों, हम लोग जो खाते हैं, इवन ह्यूमन बींग्स, हम जो खाना खाते हैं, दैट इज़ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स इन नेचर एंड इट इज़ नॉट डायरेक्टली absorbed by our body. So our body has to digest it or break down into simpler molecules, and then only it is absorbed by our body. So this kind of nutrition is known as holozoic nutrition. For example, amoeba, paramecium, birds, fishes, and human beings. Nutrition in plants. We will study one by one nutrition in plants and then nutrition in animals. So first of all, nutrition in plants. We already studied that plants, they have autotrophic mode of nutrition, which means that they prepare their food by their own. They do not depend on others for their food. They prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. This is the process by which plants prepare food by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. The food prepared is a carbohydrate which is stored in the form of starch, and oxygen is released in this process. Here equation is given for photosynthesis, that is 6 molecules of carbon dioxide reacts with 12 molecules of water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and forms C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus water plus oxygen. So in the process of photosynthesis, 3 main steps takes place. First one is absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. When chlorophyll absorbs energy, light energy, it is sensitized, it is activated. Here and in chlorophyll, in the second step, conversion of light energy into chemical energy takes place, and splitting up of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. This hydrogen produced in the second step helps in reduction of carbon dioxide to form carbohydrates. Addition of hydrogen to any substance is known as its reduction. So कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में हाइड्रोजन ऐड होता है टू फॉर्म वेरियस मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ carbohydrates. So this is a diagram of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll are green pigments present in the leaves, and this is the green pigment which is known as kitchen of a plant. Here only the process of photosynthesis takes place. So chloroplasts are green filament, green pigment which helps in the process of photosynthesis. Here are the stomata. Stomata are tiny pores present in the leaves through which exchange of gases takes place. Each stoma has a pair of guard cells which controls the opening and closing of the stomatal pores. When water enters the guard cells, it swells and pores opens, and when the guard cells lose water, it shrinks and the pore closes. So in this way, stomata open and close, and their opening and closing depends on the quantity of water absorbed by the guard cells. These stomata help in exchange of gases. They help in intake of carbon dioxide and release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.